So Bad Monkey, everybody, is coming back for another season. Good old Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn over there at Apple TV Plus has officially been picked up for the second season. I watched this show. I actually really like this show. It's fun. Vince Vaughn's a little tamed down and maybe he's getting a little older. I don't know, but I liked it. Detective show. The first season, and it's been a little bit since the season ended. People are like, maybe it's canceled. The reason why it's been a little bit till they announced it was because they're relocating to Los Angeles. They're waiting to get all their ducks in a row. Apparently, it was tough to shoot there in Florida where they were at before because they had a bunch of weather conditions. And Vince Vaughn lives in Los Angeles, so it's like bring the production home. I love this show. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. It's very interesting. It's a fun show. There's not many monkeys in it, so the bad monkey thing, I guess it works. But there's one monkey he's kind of a bad monkey. He's kind of a jackass at times, but he's barely in it. So I don't know. But speaking of bad monkeys, there's a lot of bad monkeys in that Silo, everybody. And Silo is coming back for a third and fourth season. Oh, that's right. Also, I know, Mike, also on Apple TV Plus, the first season aired, waiting a long time, second season airing right now until January. Rebecca Ferguson's back, and she is signed on for the next 2 seasons as well to finish the whole show up. It's amazing. The showrunner, Graham Yost, is super excited about it. He said, we're going to get this whole story out. It's based off Hugh Howey's New York Times best-selling trilogy. Of course, it's called Wool, which is a fantastic thing. And it's, dystopian planet where something happened. They don't know what happened yet. We haven't found out in the show. But everybody's living in bunkers now, and they're in these silos, they call them. We're going to find out how we get there, what happens with Silo moving forward, and I can't wait to find out because the downfall of society is always interesting to me. And you know what? I'm also excited to see, maybe it was something like Idiocracy happened. Maybe that's what we got to the Silo, but Idiocracy 2 might still happen. It might still happen because which I think it's interesting that, like, after all this time, it's been years, but it's back in the air. People are talking about Idiocracy these days. But Luke Wilson was recently saying that he's always pitching this to Mike Judge to do another one. He's like, his whole premise is he wakes up, gets frozen 500 years in the future. He's the smartest man on the planet. Him and Maya Rudolph, who was a prostitute back in the day, she gets frozen too, and they have to save the world. And on top of that, too, they're putting Gatorade on plants. I don't know if you guys have seen this. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it. Gatorade on plants because it has electrolytes. And I see online all the time. People are like, check out Prime, it has electrolytes. Oh, bro, it has electrolytes. Oh, it's fucking fantastic. And I'm like, is this where we're going? Is it becoming that? I hope not. But I do say I would love to see Idiocracy too. The idea would be to take them back to present day. That's what Luke Wilson wants to do. Take everybody back to present day and let them see what the world used to be like. I think we just keep going forward and see if they can actually fix society, because I don't know. But speaking of Idiocracy, that's been happening over at Sony so much. I mean, whatever happened with Craven, whatever happened with all their franchises, Madam Web. You know what? I think people are talking about it. It's trending these days. It just is. I think it'd be interesting to see. But what's happening here with the whole Spider-Man thing? Now, this is also for Trevor, because Trevor said that earlier last week. He said, what's going to happen with Beyond the Spider-Verse? Well, we do have directors assigned to it now. Finally, Bob Persichetti and Justin K. Thompson have signed on to direct the third one in Into the Spider-Verse franchise. Now, what's happening here? These guys have been involved behind the scenes for the whole process. It makes sense if you're asking me. If you're finding people to take over, these are your guys. Now, Persichetti previously served as part of the Oscar-winning team directing the whole first one, Into the Spider-Verse, and was also executive producer on the second one. And Thompson served as production designer Into the Spider-Verse, where he was the actual person that made the whole groundbreaking visual style for it. So these guys have been having their fingers in the whole thing, directing in a lot of ways too. What surprised me was that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are still signed on as executive producers. They got kind of fired from here, and the whole, Spider-Man War is kind of on the air with them directing. I mean, that show is still coming. They're filming in LA. But Sony's gonna get their shit together. People are saying they're gonna sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. Bullshit. Can I say bullshit? When people say that online, you guys just don't get it. Oh, the movies are bombing. Yeah, they're bombing. But you know what? They make money off Spider-Man. Every time that Disney does Spider-Man and Marvel does Spider-Man, they make money. Why would they sell their cash cow? And it's been the highest grossing franchise ever. Anything they've done at Sony. They're not selling that shit for $1 billion. I don't think it's not gonna happen. But I don't think I also think on top of that, Marvel will just keep going, of course. They want to do more Deadpool and Wolverine. But of course, Ryan Reynolds came forward and said, I want a Deadpool 4. I want Deadpool to be in his own movie, not his own movie, more be like more of a sidekick for anybody else. He was saying that Shane Tate Young, he wanted to be with him maybe in a movie with Gambit. But also he said that maybe the Avengers is the place to be. But he shouldn't be an Avenger. He should be like a side character that's outside the Avengers trying to get in. If he becomes an Avenger, it ruins the whole Deadpool premise. But he wants to work with Hugh some more and make some more movies. I guarantee these guys are back. Again, they recently said not too long ago, Kevin Feige said you're going to see them back before you know it. Now, Ryan hasn't confirmed that, but get ready for more Deadpool Wolverine. I know it's happening. Just like Chris Evans, I said for a long time, was coming back, talked about last week, coming back to Marvel. But now the rumor is he's playing Nomad. This is Jeff Schneider saying this. Jeff Schneider's always bringing all these breaking news to people, all these rumors, bringing it up, and people are like, take it by word. That it's like, this is truth, and sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong. And then, people are saying it's the best inside info. We'll see. But he said he's going to be Nomad, and Nomad is another form of Captain America, which kind of makes sense to me. We said last week, probably be Captain America, but it's a Captain America who's lost his moniker of caring about the country because he's lost his hope in humanity and the United States government, and becomes a man without a country, pretty much, serving no country. And that makes sense to me. There's also rumors of it being like an evil Avengers here too. I just want more Batista on these things, guys. I love Dave. Dave, friend the show, Dave Batista. And Dave is back in the news. He's doing a movie with Anne Hathaway now, based on a real life premise. It's an action comedy directed by Jonathan Troper over at Amazon MGM Studios. He's been doing a few things over there, but it's inspired by an actual sting which agents were opposed to infiltrate a global criminal enterprise at a wedding. That's where it culminated. The whole process went down in New Jersey, and they caught their suspects. But they're saying they're refashioning this now. And the thing is, you're saying refashion this, but they're pretty much like, they're two partners who are undercover FBI agents, radically different, but they actually end up liking each other. They first detest each other, and they like each other. They have respect at the end of the movie. That's like every fucking movie. I've seen that premise everywhere. How is that anything to do about this criminal, taking this criminal overlords down at a wedding? There's no wedding mention. You're just doing a cop movie. You do a cop movie. Let's say it's a cop movie. That's all we gotta say. Dave and cop movie. Done. Sold. Done. Okay, whatever. Actual events. I still love it. I will check it out. I like Anne Hathaway. I worked with her in The Dark Knight Rises. She was great. She's so bubbly and happy and go-lucky and exciting human person. And then Dave, friend of the show, of course. And sexy, like GR said. Damn, GR, get it, sexy.
Where are you going with this?
She's my movie crush.
He's gonna take her to the bedroom. That's what's gonna happen with this. That's what happened.
Hey, beautiful. Hey, can I get a little pet over here? Just a little touch on the belly. What's up, girl?
That's GR's Jeff. Peppy, calm down.
Ask for a pedo?
No, a pet. He asked for a pet.
Oh, okay.
I have an opinion. I think we'd be canceled if I wasn't here.
Yeah, it's probably true, Peppy. It's probably true. Probably true. But Dave is coming back. I'm super excited about that. But also something that might come back that I would love to see is City Slickers 3. City Slickers 3. And people might not remember this movie anymore. 1991 was the first one came up, this Western comedy with Billy Crystal. And honestly, guys, he said in an interview recently, he has this Apple show and they're asking about it. And he said, there's been a lot of rumor. They're talking about it. They're asking about City Slickers 3, but he'd like it to be its own kind of contained story, not like a direct sequel to the second one, which didn't do that well, but pretty much about a bunch of friends that go to a saddle ranch or a ranch to just go live as we're back in the day, pretty much cattle wrangling and hanging out together and bonding and trying to find gold and actually find real gold in the process. Come and get it. Come and get me. Come and get me. If you've seen that movie, I love that movie so much. So please, let's get more Billy Crystal, more City Slickers. And I'd also be down for more Mask. More Mask. Come on. Let's do the Mask 3 as well. But Jim Carrey's been asked about this. Can you count the Mask 2? Anybody out there? Can we count the Mask 2? Because I don't know if we can. No, right? I don't know if we can, because The Mask 2 was its own little beast, and I feel like that was different. We didn't have Milo, we didn't have Jim Carrey, we had, I don't know who was in there. It was the son of the Mask?
Son of Mask, yeah, with Jamie, what's his name? Frank?
It doesn't matter what his name was. It doesn't matter. The 90s cartoon on Fox Kids was better than The Mask 2.
Jamie Kennedy, there you go. Jamie Kennedy experiment.
Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah.
I know, Peppy. Stop the reboots.
Can we get something that's closer to the comics this time?
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Have you read those comics, Trevor?
I have. They're absolutely batshit.
You're asking for so much, sir.
Who published those? Is that
I know nobody's going to want an R-rated Mask.
Shit?
It's Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, yeah, it would have to be.
Oh, Dark Horse.
That sounds right.
Oh, that's great. Well, we'll see. Maybe they will take your advice here, Trevor. People listen to us from Dark Horse, right? And from every big national studio, right? They're all listening to us. Enoch, yeah, there was the Son of the Mask. I guess it's kind of a sequel. Kind of, and it's not really, but it is.
It sucked, Enoch. Don't waste your time finding it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is Dark Horse McFarlane? Is that McFarlane? Is that Dark Horse?
I know no is correct. He might be Image, or he might be one of the other.
Yeah, he was primarily with Image, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought so.
I think
Artist
so.
owned.
The Spawn guy, the guy who did Spawn, is that Dark Horse? No,
No, we gotta get to Google though. Spawn is embarrassed if he's watching now.
We have the internet. I guess we could look things up.
Oh, what a concept!
I'm just saying, I would love to see The Mask, the comic, made by the same, whatever you want to call it, producers, whatever, that
McFarlane,
made
yeah, it is. Image was done.
You could always ask
What up,
Sean in the
But
chat.
they were ascendant at the same time. Oh shit! You say his name and he appears. Hi, Sean. Hey,
what's up, man?
Etrigan Sean there.
But I would say the Mask, the Son of the Mask was a bunch of bullshit, guys. Like, I don't remember any bit of 1 second of frame from that movie. You know, I just don't care.
Not even the first one?
Now, the first one I know 100%. I can smoke it, and I can do shit from like fucking start to beginning. We actually did a short film release, and my buddy Spencer, who's been on the show, he played the Mask, and the makeup for that was awesome. He did the conga beat, and he was dancing and shit like that. It was great. I can't wait. Evil Spencer. We'll talk about that when we release that pretty soon. But I hope Jim Carrey comes back for the Mask. Come on, you're doing Sonic the Hedgehog. You can do the Mask. And also, WB, please give Guy Pearce more jobs, because Guy Pearce I love. Yeah. And apparently there was an executive Mike at WB that hated him. And so after Memento, he's like, I just don't know about that guy. I just don't like him. And that executive stopped him from being an Eddie Nolan film afterwards. He was trying so many times Nolan was to get Guy Pearce back in a movie. So much so he auditioned, or he was going to audition, actually read for Batman and Batman Begins. Although it was for it wasn't Batman, but it was for Liam Neeson's part, for Ra's al Ghul. He was going to read for that. So he got into a plane to fly to England. When he landed, Nolan picked him up and said, hey, so they told me I couldn't cast you. Do you want to see the Batmobile and get some lunch? And that was it. And he's like, I guess so. Huh, fuck, right? Can you imagine? And he said that they just wouldn't let it happen. But now that he's at Universal, he's saying there's a chance. That's what I'm saying. Just saying there's a chance. I would love to see that. I'm not sure about this Ocean Gate situation, though, guys. We talked about the movie when this first of all, when this first happened, which you guys remember, like, of course, Ocean Gate was the ship that went down to see the Titanic, and they had their whole crew pretty much died. Their whole crew died. They couldn't find it for a while and imploded, right?
Not pretty much.
It did. It imploded. It imploded. And so we couldn't find anything. They were searching for them for a while. If you remember, this had a whole conversation because there was a movie, like right after that happened, someone bought the rights to the movie and were producing the movie. That movie's still happening. But the very first documentary is coming out for this now. They're working for, they're hoping that distribution will be across all major platforms. It's almost done. They're in post-production, hoping for a 2025 release. But the cool thing about this, interesting thing I should say, not cool, but interesting, is Aaron Egermisson, I probably butchered his name, directed this, who is the last person to see the whole crew alive. So he was actually very much involved with the whole process. So I hope that he has some inside information to tell the true story and tell it right. This movie, what happened with this movie coming out, I have no idea. It felt like a cash grab when we first talked about it. Mike was on here when we talked about that before, right, Mike? That was like a year ago, something like that.
I just hope the last person to see me doesn't direct a documentary about my demise.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Where is Aquaman? We need him. Dang. So, Mike, I'm working on the documentary right now, so I'll let you know how it goes.
What does that mean for me?
If that weren't bad enough, Mike, the documentary about your demise got a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm actually happy.
It went up, I guess.
Yeah.
It could be worse. It could be worse
for you.
Oh boy, yeah. Yep. Sorry, Mike. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be great though. I hear it's gonna be nominated for an Oscar.
Make it into Sundance, then it's okay. Even if I have, there's no standing ovation and everyone walks out.
Well, no one's gonna walk out, man. I just say it'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine, Mike, unless Will Smith slaps the fuck out of it. Then it won't be. But Will Smith's back in the news again because Will Smith right now is telling people, "Get my damn." No, he's not saying that. He's saying ever. He's saying, guys, There's all these social media memes right now about Will Smith and Diddy hanging out at his freak-offs, and Will Smith's pissed about it. He's like, what the hell, guys? I don't know Diddy. I don't know Puffy. I don't have these situations. He goes, I've been seeing all y'all memes and stuff, and I see the memes. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny, but I just want to say that very clearly, I don't have shit to do with Puffy, so you can just all stop with those memes. Y'all can just stop all that bullshit. It ain't been nowhere near no damn freak-off. And then he went up to say, I ain't been nowhere near that, man. Ain't did none of that stupid shit. You've done other stupid shit, though. But all breaking news, everybody.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.